Daylight streams down on Kanaya Maryam's raven black hair, warming it to the touch in a way that most Alternians would find distinctly uncomfortable. But Kanaya isn't most Alternians. A member of the Jade caste, one of those whose communion with the Mother Grub imbues them with the singular ability to withstand the harsh light that would burn most. Sometimes it was a specific task that called Kanaya from her hive and out into that luminous world beyond. Today, it's nothing in particular. She's found that she enjoys the solitude, the sense that she is separate from the politics and expectations that bind her in so much of her daily life. The daylight means freedom, but it also means danger. Kanaya pauses for the briefest of moments, clutching at her chainsaw and looking around anxiously. The shadow droppers don't fear the daylight any more than she does. They relish it, revel in it, as they roam the land looking for prey. There are too many of them, and too close. Kanaya quickens her pace, turning to the path that leads back to her hive. The shadow droppers are little threat to her by themselves, but they rarely travel alone. Ahead on the path, she sees the first of them, the low, stooped body that has all the semblance of a fellow troll but none of the spirit. A twisted, vicious mass of muscle and teeth and claws that had evolved in a world that wanted nothing more than to see it dead. And somehow, it rejected every effort and persisted. Kanaya stops and readies the chainsaw because she knows what comes next. Two of the creatures run at her from the brush to the side of the path. Kanaya revs her chainsaw and turns to face them. The blade of the saw makes contact with the putrid, half-rotted flesh and digs in, nearly choking on the viscera that it bites off. The first shadow dropper falls aside. The second hesitates, if only for a moment. A moment that isn't wasted. Kanaya swings the saw around in an arc and connects with the thing's head. The saw is barely turning from the clogging ichor, but it doesn't matter. The impact is enough, strong enough to half-crush the shadow dropper's skull. It falls back, and Kanaya recoils, turning back to the path.
Where are you?
The thing on the path is gone into the bush. Hesitantly, Kanaya steps forward on the path, the chainsaw held low and to the ready. The blade stops, its hunger for dropper flesh apparently sated.
No, not now.
From the side, the last shadow dropper slams into Kanaya full force, knocking her to the ground and forcing the chainsaw out of her hands. She struggles against the weight of the thing, fighting against the snapping jaws as she seeks purchase in the soft spot by its eyes. Kanaya grasps with all her strength and pulls. The wet flesh of the creature gives way, and a chunk of its skull cracks off in her hands, spilling viscous fluid everywhere. The creature howls in torment and falls back, the blood spattering along the dry dirt. She is alone once more.
Oh. Why?
Kanaya's hand moves to her side, and she discovers that the impact she felt was so much more. A deep, festering gash in her side. A bite.
No. No. No, no, no.
She can already feel it coursing through her blood. The poison that the shadow droppers use to incapacitate their prey. If she were near civilization, she might have a chance. That's the lie she tells herself. Kanaya falls to her knees in the dust, her once pristine skirt now covered with the slurry of her own blood, mixed with the dirt and the life essence of the shadow dropper. Her mind falls back to the words of the matriarch of the caverns, that they drink the blood of the mother grub so that they can be closer to her, that she watches over them in their time of need. And all of it was a lie. Kanaya lets herself fall to the ground, staring aimlessly at the trail of blood left by the fleeing shadow dropper. The poison is reaching her heart now, pumping through her body, dimming her vision. Kanaya Maryam takes one final breath and lets it out. Moonlight streams down, the harsh light turning everything into a shadow play of muted contrast and dull color. All the blood is a black stain on the ground now, dried by hours in the Alternian sun. Everything hurts. Kanaya's hands move to her side. Inside the tear in her shirt, she feels only the stitched-together tissue of a new scar. Tender to the touch, the nerve endings newly repaired.
This isn't real.
Slowly, she pushes herself to her feet. The chainsaw is still nearby. Her clothes are a mess. There are so many thoughts going through her head all at once. The world is too loud, too vivid for the dim confines of the night. Everything stands out in sharp relief in a way that is almost painful.
It's not real.
She recoils back as the sudden odor of the shadow dropper's blood assaults her nose. She's killed them before, and she never found the odor so repulsive. And Kanaya doesn't know how she knows it, but the shadow droppers will avoid her now. They no longer see her as potential prey. Not anymore. Without saying another word, Kanaya Maryam once again sets off on the path that leads her back home.